Dennis Wrigley Ministries, a better way, unity, renewal and healing.
When history is written, I believe the past 100 years will be labelled the emergence of the culture of death. Pope John Paul made this point very clearly in an appeal many years ago. What did he mean? What do we mean when we speak of the culture of death? It is an obsession with killing. It's rooted in the terrible vision of the concentration camps operated by the Nazis, when vast numbers of Jews and others were just butchered. It's illustrated in the killing fields of so many parts of the world, the kulaks in the Russian Revolution. Millions and millions of ordinary innocent people slaughtered. A culture of death emerged, not just in wartime, but it emerged when we began to have a lower understanding of the value of human life. For example, every year, millions of children are destroyed in their mother's womb. There is a real culture of death. We are getting rid of children. And then if you look at much modern cinema and drama, there is an increasing obsession with death and violence and killing. You have even the goth culture, which is a trivial instance of this. But it shows how over and over again we have slithered into a situation which is life-denying. And we find with the emergence of the drug culture, with the huge number of people who die of tobacco poisoning already, the consequences of it, and we look at alcoholism, we find that there is a preoccupation with death. Contrast this with Jesus, who said, "I've come that you might have life." Contrast this with the gospel, which says you can be born again. You can become a new creation. Contrast the pessimism of the people who are involved in the processes of death and destruction. The people who send little children to fight in armies. The people who make vast sums of money out of armaments. Contrast that with the way of Jesus. The way of Jesus is life. Biblically, we have a phrase ringing in our minds, some of us. I place before you life and death. Choose life. God's given us the freedom. Our youngsters are told how to commit suicide on the special nets special sites devoted to it. Yes, this obsession with death is something which we are implanting even in the minds of the young. Youth suicides are happening on an alarming scale. Our concern is not to judge. Our concern as followers of Jesus is to see the sadness of a culture committed to death and dying and show the alternative of the way of Jesus, which is a way through all the darkness, through all the human pain, because Jesus went that way right to the cross. And to say, this isn't necessary. There is a better way. It may be the way of the cross, yes. And the cross went to the point of saying to humanity, this is what it's about. Most people, it seems in our culture, while being obsessed with death, are frightened of death and dying. The Christian who has confronted Jesus on the cross and seen him overcoming death, death has lost its sting and grave has no victory. That surely is a message of hope for all of us. We desperately need it in our culture today. Our prayer should be, may our culture become a culture of life. For the sake of our children, yet unborn, a culture of life. God bless you.
Dennis Wrigley Ministries, a better way, unity, renewal and healing. Thank you for watching.